Welcome back. The outperformance of the mid-cap index continues. We do have a bunch of stocks which are extending their gains. M&M Financial up almost 10% as we speak. Jubilant Foodworks is the other one which has done extremely well as well. Moved to the high point of trade after the drubbing that it saw all of last week. In fact, post its numbers, it fell about 10-11% in just the next consecutive trading sessions, seeing some bit of recovery from the lows. Talking about numbers, we do have with us the management of Orient Electric. Posted a weakish set of third quarter numbers where we did see highest ever volume growth coming in their fan segment as the company liquidated all its non-star rated fans ahead of the new energy efficiency transmission. We do have with us the CFO of the company joining in. Thanks a lot for joining in, Mr. Khanna. He's the MD and CEO of Orient Electric. The first question is with regards to your fans business outlook in the fourth quarter. The first half of this quarter is marred by delayed winter, so that means that the offtake of fans would be low, and you've liquidated your entire inventory as well. What kind of sustainable volume growth can we expect in the fans business in the second half of this quarter and all of FY24?
Good afternoon, Mangalam. First of all, thank you so much. Yes, there has been a very good quarter three for us, both in terms of volume and in terms of gross revenue. Also, we expanded, although the EBITDA has been a little low because of some upfront investments which are there for the long term. Looking at the quarter four, well, January has been a little muted, but we are already seeing the new stock has started moving in the market. The old stock is going out of the counters, and we are fairly hopeful that quarter four should be good.
Your e-commerce business has done very well, especially in certain segments, whether it's water heaters, whether it's air coolers. Can you tell us e-commerce, on a low base, it's risen almost 4 times year on year in Q3. How much does it contribute as an overall percentage now to your revenues? And what's the eventual plan over the next couple of years? How much do you plan to grow it by?
E-commerce is now already trending towards more than 10% in our total revenue. And we do expect that it should touch 20% plus in a year or so.
Okay, and within e-commerce, if you're expecting it to grow, which are the products that see maximum traction there? How is it operationally? If e-commerce rises, do you think it could benefit your operations, your blended margins, purely because you won't have to incur other fixed costs?
Yes and no, both. First of all, the growth is essentially coming from fans and from coolers and water heaters, appliances, essentially. It is not from lighting as of now, although we have now a good plan how do we take lighting up in that space. But the large part is driven by the ECD segment. E-commerce definitely is one place which affects the total brand, because most of the customers, they actually check the brand online before they go and make up their mind and buy offline. So therefore, in terms of brand presence, being present on e-commerce is strategically very important for us. And that's one of the reasons why we want to ensure that we are always visible. Okay. This will also affect our offline sales.
Okay. Mr. Khanna, I can see that your air coolers business was up around 2x in the previous quarter. But I'm more interested in knowing about, say, air purifiers. Are you within that segment? Do you sell air purifiers?
No, we were there with DeLonghi, and we will continue selling DeLonghi air purifiers, but that's small in numbers. We are not taking big bet on air purifier as a category, or for that matter, even the room heaters. We're not taking big bet on them.
Why not? Because that seems to be a segment which a lot of your peers seem to be tapping into simply because of the environment and what is taking place across cities in the country. So there's an exponential rise actually in air purifier sales. Why are you not taking a big bet on it and other segments that you might think would be lucrative within the same space?
No, you're right. This is a growing category, but given our priorities and looking at the very high seasonality of these products, we think that it's better to focus on some of the areas where we see far higher growth potential than these categories in absolute numbers. These categories, even if they have a high growth rate, are still significantly small, and we definitely pegging our priorities on some larger bets.
All right. Mr. Khanna, in the non-ECD part of your business, we have seen you launching the wire portfolio in 6 states. It's seeing good traction. Just wanted to understand how do you expect this to play out in terms of sales going forward? What's your expansion plan? And the other one is facade lighting, where we have seen a fair amount of orders coming in from governments and institutions to light up all organizations, edifices, offices. How big do you see as an opportunity there for you?
So in terms of wires, I think that completes the portfolio that we required, because very, very important when an electrician starts into any house, the first thing that the electrician brings in is the wires, and therefore it was a very important part of the portfolio. We're becoming big in switches, switch gears, etc. And therefore, going forward, the entire electricals in the house.
Okay.
In terms of facade, yes, it's a great opportunity, and I'm very proud for what the team has delivered in a very short time, creating that kind of a competency in-house and taking up such prestigious projects across the country. Facade is going to be growing. Consider India as quite an underlit country when compared to the developed
Okay.
countries in the world.
Okay, got
And
that.
this is
So,
growth area.
sure. Just one final question from my end. You've been aspiring to reach double-digit margins for a long time now, but you've been unable to do that. Why is that? And can we expect the company to touch, say, 10-11% margins anytime in FY24 or 25?
Yeah, sure. So if you really see even our Q3 performance, take out the one-time expenses that we are putting in, which are for the long-term upfront costs, we are fairly close to 10% EBITDA margin. Our gross margins, for example, have actually expanded, if you would have seen. So we're very confident we will touch the double digit. It is just that as of now, there are some strategic upfront expenses that we're committing ourselves to, which will catapult us to the next level of efficiency and growth. So yes, that's our ambition. We would definitely deliver double-digit margins soon.
Okay, all right. So we're going to leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and speaking with us. So that's Orient Electric. The stock is down around 2% for the markets. The Nifty down around 130 odd points. Mid-caps managing to hold up with a gain of around 0.7%. Take a break. But on the other side, a lot of stocks in focus today. So more on that once we're back. Stay tuned.